Oh hey, didn't see you there. Welcome back to the Soggy Hash Brown Show, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make an epic thumbnail for free. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so before I show you guys how, we're just going to talk about thumbnails just a little bit. So let's just look at my thumbnails just for a little bit. Obviously, I'm not the greatest at making thumbnails, but I feel like I do not too bad. Like some of them we don't need to talk about, like, you know, that one, that's obviously I didn't do anything. I just did one of the defaults. But some of them are pretty good. Like this one's pretty good. That one's not too bad. That one's good. The simping for Among Us is, that one's a quality thumbnail, don't even. But yeah, most of them aren't so bad. There are some poopy ones, yes, but most of them are pretty good. So there's some things that you have to consider when making a thumbnail to try and attract the viewer's attention. It's one of those things you have to be very simple. So with these, like these ones are pretty simple. There's not a lot going on. It's just got a little logo on it. This one just says worth it with the PS5 controller. Not a lot going on in them. This one's got a little bit too much, but I still like it. But a lot of them you have to be simple. You can't have too much going on because it'll distract the viewer, not the reader. But you still want to be able to portray the meaning of what's going on. Like the Smash Bros one, that's still pretty good. This one's not too bad, the Wii Sports one. But these Minecraft ones, they're simple, but they're too simple and they don't really attract what the viewer's looking for, so they're not going to click on it. None of my thumbnails really have too much going on, which is something I'm good at, is keeping them simple, because you don't want too much going on. So we're actually going to look at Corben's channel. I can bully him, he's my best friend, shut up. So a lot of his, you know, they're not great. Some of them are pretty good, like this, definitely Elder Scrolls Online. That one's pretty good. It's simple, except of course the text could be better. It's kind of small, you can't read it, and it could, you know, it could be better, but it's still a pretty good thumbnail. Or this newest one that's simple, it grabs your attention a little bit, but a lot of them are kind of, okay, we don't even need to talk about this one. You can't even see what is happening in that one. They're not the best in the world, but some of them are pretty good. Like this one, there's something about it. It's a good thumbnail, but the only problem with it, there's too much going on right here. You don't really know what it's trying to show you. So if you would have just cropped this a little bit, like if you would just zoomed in just to where it's the owl pooping on the princess, that would have been a good thumbnail. He didn't really need to add this other stuff and zoom out. This definitely Among Us had a lot of potential. He actually did pretty good with it, except there's a couple things that he didn't really know of, like contrasting and brightness. You gotta work those together so that you can attract the viewer's attention. Anyway, so we're gonna be, when I'm showing you how to do it, we're just going to remake his Definitely Among Us, where he played a realistic version of Among Us. It was actually a super cool video. You should go watch it. In fact, just go watch all of his videos. A lot of them are great. Alright, to start off, you go to this website called... Oh! What's this? This is... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to show you my epic merch that's on sale that you can click the link in the description to go buy. Sorry, my bad. I meant to go to over here. This is pixlr.com/editor. They have free online photo editing tools. So they have two of them. There's Pixlr X and Pixlr E. Pixlr X is just super simple for people who've never used it before and are just trying to figure it out. But since I'm a little bit more experienced, we're going to be doing Pixlr E, which I suggest you all use for the sake of this video. So you just go ahead and hit launch. So what you're going to start, you always got to start with knowing what's your title going to be. So with this video, he called it Definitely Among Us, when it's more of a joke. It's not actually Among Us, but it's a different version. It's more of a realistic, and you know what I mean. You get the joke, okay? So anyway, we're just going to go ahead, and I liked what he did with the background, so we're going to take this part where he's got the kill thing. So we go to a new tab and search up Among Us kill screen. So you can go ahead and take any one of these. You go for one that has a high resolution, like this one's 1920 by 1080. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Save image, kill screen. And then, so now we have to find, what do we want to put over that? Now we're going to go ahead and find us a character from Among Us to put on top of it. Let's just go ahead and choose cyan. And then since it's like a definitely with this theme of definitely Among Us when it's not actually Among Us, we're gonna go ahead and find an X. This will do. And honestly, we could just do that there. So let's go ahead and find it and see if we like these. You gotta find your things, open them up. Okay, so now that you have all those images open, go ahead and hit File, New Image, and we're gonna do 1280 by 720. This is a good one. It's not too high resolution, so it won't get your file size too big for YouTube, but it'll still look really good. So go ahead and do that one, create. Then you'll go ahead and take these, you'll just highlight it all with this tool, this rectangular tool, hit Control C, and then paste it onto the new one, and then you're gonna just resize it to the size of the border. So now you have that there. You're gonna hit new thing and go ahead and grab our cyan right there. Gonna have to do this, make him bigger. And you got this annoying white thing in the way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit this. So we're gonna go ahead and find the quick selection tool, or it's called the wand select in this. It's gonna select what a certain color of pixels or pixels that are close to that same color. So go ahead and just try to eliminate all of that. Hit delete. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and add our new one. Go ahead and find our last image, which is the red X. All right, then we'll resize that to get rid of that, just like that. All right, and I don't really like the look of this right now. Like, this doesn't look super great. So what I think we're gonna do instead of that, we're gonna go ahead and find a new image. We're gonna do Among Us. Okay, so rather than doing the kill screen, I think we're just gonna go ahead and search up thumbnail background. They got a bunch of stuff that you can pick from, so it's gonna make your stuff really stand out. So like this is gonna put all our attention towards that, but it's too low resolution, so we're not gonna do that one. And another thing is you're gonna want to look for something that's gonna conflict the image, because so if you think about the color wheel, each image has a different opposite color. So the opposites of the color wheel are really gonna make your thing stand out. So like if the background is like blue, the opposite of blue is yellow. So I'll go ahead and put like yellow text over the blue just so it stands out more. So since we have a red X and we really want that to stand out, we're gonna go ahead and find like a green background. Let's go ahead and look at this one. This one looks pretty good. Go ahead and delete the old layer. And then since this is gonna put it above, we're gonna have to go and put it ahead and put it below. All right, that looks a little bit better. So now with something is, it still looks a little bit strange. So if we go ahead and take our background and we take, I think, go ahead and find the blur tool and just start make sure you're selected on the right background. If you're selected on the wrong layer, it'll edit the wrong layer. So just kind of, really want to like blur it so it's not super in the way. And then since this image is a little bit low resolution, we'll like go ahead and blur some of the outlines so it looks a little bit smoother. And then now that's all kind of blurred out, we're gonna want to put a little bit something because it's not quite standing out currently. So go ahead and find some text. If we do that and go ahead and put add layer and then type in something like not Among Us, and then we're gonna have to customize this. We don't want the regular one. We would definitely want to find a better font that's gonna stand out a lot more. So it's got a bunch of fonts on this website that you can pick from. Go ahead and pick something really thick and that's definitely going to stand out. We'll go with this one, and then we're going to go ahead and change the color maybe to red because we want it to stand out again. All right, so the text still isn't really popping out. So another thing we're going to want to do is you go ahead and take the brush, take something that's probably not going to be too much in the way, just kind of start putting something so it makes it look a little better. Like if you do the softness, it'll give it like a glow. All right, now that we have that done, so it's now popping the text out a lot more, we're gonna want to make this contrast a lot more because it's still kind of blending a little bit too much, all the colors, because we chose kind of a cyan thing. So we go ahead and go to our background layer and we can select adjustment, brightness and contrast, and you can control the brightness and how much you want it, how bright you want it, and you can do how much you contrast it. So usually I crank up the contrast so you can see everything, and then crank down that so it looks really dark, and then contrast it. All right, and honestly, that's not a terrible thumbnail right there. I know it's not the greatest work I could have ever done, but it's definitely better than Corben's right here, just because everything's too dark. He had a good idea, it just didn't really work. I think that even with his style, obviously his style of editing is different. Everyone has their own style of thumbnail editing, but so yeah, you're just gonna go and do that. Two big things that you always got to worry about is simplicity and contrasting, because you want them to contrast so you can see them. And then when you're done, you're gonna go ahead and save it. Now when you're here ready to upload the video, go ahead and put your title. This is a different video that I'm about to upload. I know I'm not spelling that right, but it's whatever. Then you go ahead and put your thumbnail. And then if you have this tool called vidIQ, you can go and just search it on Google. It's a Chrome extension. It's super easy. There's nothing wrong with it. Lots of people use it for YouTube. And then you hit compare thumbnail for results. So now it's going to show you what it's going to look like for people searching that up. So if I put Among Us, so when people search up the word Among Us, then this will pretend like this is your video showing up when someone shows that. This is what it's going to look like. And if you don't like that, like right now I'm saying, hey, that doesn't look super great, I can go ahead and close that, and then I can go back and remake a new thumbnail. So that thumbnail wasn't great, I know, don't worry. I know that it wasn't great, but just follow the principles that I taught you. You usually want to blur the background because it helps with contrast, which contrasts the big picture. You want a lot of contrast so it pops out to the viewer, and make it simple. Don't have too much detail. And yeah, that's basically it. You just use the website pixlr.com/e/, and then you can edit all your stuff that you want for YouTube. Anyway, so if you guys like this video, make sure to go hit the like button and comment down below if this helped you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.